Yo, what's going on, people? You knew I was going to talk about this. Let me see who posted this. Games Radar. Games Radar just posted, they chimed in on the Silent Hill thing because apparently Silent Hill decided to go down this route of adding on to the ever-long list of ugly-ass characters that they're trying to implement into this new woke status. Now you got people trying to defend this, of course. You got the mainstream defending this, and you got the people like me who's on the internet who actually see what's going on, chiming in on this type of shit, basically letting y'all know that this shit is bullshit. Case in point, look at the reason as to why they said this character looks like this. Look at the fucking cope that they put. What? Look at this. Silent Hill 2 veterans debate whether Angela, like a Maria's design, looks for the horror remake. They just made Angela look her age. So if you guys haven't played Silent Hill 2, you will know that Angela in the game is actually 19. We all been 19 before. We know how 19-year-olds look, especially people who's following me. Most of you guys are probably 19 years old, right? How many 19 years old in a video game to where it's in a public stage or something like that to where they look like this intentionally? How many 19-year-olds actually look like this in movies or in video games? How many of them actually look like this with this long-ass, big, thick jawbone and this thick-ass neck that the turtleneck is probably hiding something underneath of that? How many of them actually look like that? Case in point, it's a very special case of ugly people that probably looks like she is not attractive whatsoever. Not even saying that she's supposed to look like a supermodel. She doesn't even look like a 5. She looks like a Down syndrome person. She look like she's missing a chromosome. That's exactly how she looks. And I don't care what y'all say. Y'all probably gonna say, oh, this dude is mean. Oh, you're an a-hole, or you need therapy. Like these comments here. I don't give a fuck. I'm an artist at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, what I do is I create characters. So what I do when I'm chiming in on this stuff, I'm actually saying what everybody else is thinking, especially in my field. This shit is unacceptable. This shit is undefendable. You cannot defend this. She looks like the Crimson Chin. But I'm not just petty without substance. I'm actually going to give substance as to why this is actually the case, so you guys don't think I'm bullshitting. Okay, so on the Silent Hill, I guess Reddit, they say like our baby Angela is finally revealed, which has to be a joke. This thread is how I found out that she was 19 and not 40, reads one comment. Apparently she never looked 40 to me though. Apparently this is how I found out too. I thought she was like in her early 30s or something. Okay, so you went from 40 to early 30s. Okay, that's like 10-year difference. Like, so I was hearing some people don't like how she looks within this remake, but now that I know that they just made Angela look her age, reads another. This is not an age thing. This is just another cope from another ally that they have within the industry. All these game journalists are just allies for, the woke movement. They're all paid by the same people. They all get their funding from the same people, and they all get their talking points from the same side. So they have no choice but to defend this though. Like, it's just common sense right now, because if this was just made to look her age, let's keep it consistent, all right? If this was just her just being her age with the thicker jawline and everything like that, the thick neck, the bushy ass eyebrows, then how come, case in point here, you got Crimson Chin's second cousin here, and then you got Aloy, who went from this V chin line, well, jawline, to this oval jawline. This is what they're doing right now, and this is from an artist's perspective. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what's going on right now, just in case you think I'm bullshitting, of course. So let me show you how they teach us how to draw the sexes, right? And this is gonna be very quick, so it's probably gonna look shitty. This is, let's just say this is a female's head starting off, right? This is how we were all taught to draw women, because this is how their faces are actually built. Now it's gonna look like shit, of course, but this is the point. This is the point I'm making though. The point I'm making is this is a triangle shape right here. So how we were taught to draw females was that when it comes to the chin, it goes more inward, kind of like this, to symbolize that it's less of a strong jawline and more of a feminine, smooth, curved face. That's basically how we were taught to draw females. And it's the same when it comes to 3D animation, because you see how certain characters who weren't attached to this, which I'm gonna show you guys in a minute, their faces look more like this. It's more like a triangle because it expresses femininity of the face. The jawbone actually is supposed to mean strong when it comes to how you look at a man. When you look at a man, we're supposed to have a more defined jawline structure most of the time. There's some dudes who got, weird facial features, what I'm saying, like to where the jawline is not that pronounced. But in media, when you're creating a character, you have to specifically go out your way to make something look like this. You have to go out your way. That means you're denying all all different versions on which you were taught on how to create a male and a female. You completely throw all that out the window strictly because you had to, by design and directive from who's above you, to create them to look less feminine on purpose, because you want to subtract from the male gaze, which means that you are specifically going out your way to make a female character look masculine. Because how we were taught, and our artists know this, there is a difference between the skull structure of a woman and a man. So there's two different ways to drawing it. There is no in between. So you have to go outside your way to make it look like this, because the original voice actor and the original actor who they based Ayla off of actually looks like this. Jaw structure is the original Aloy. This right here is something that they did within the program to make her look less attractive on purpose. I know this because I'm an artist. I know what we do. So if it's just about the age, right? The reason why her chin looks like this shit, then how come, case in point, Aloy has it? How come MJ has it? And how come every other person, I can show many more, has the same fucking jawline? Why is that? Let me do more explanation. You know how I know this shit is actually a tactic? It's actually organized. Watch this. Yeah, it's a case of point. I actually made a video about this a long time ago. I'm actually gonna show a clip right now so you guys will see that I covered this shit before. So this is their statement that they put out, or I guess is their terms and conditions when it comes to what they want devs to abide by, right? They're encouraging devs to abide by it, which means if you don't, then there's going to be consequences. We all know how this shit works, right? Everything that's happening right now is shit that I already talked about. I'm not just pulling this shit out of my fucking ass. This shit is literally coming from patterns, and everybody with common sense can see what's going on. But this is what they posted. This is what Xbox themselves actually posted when it comes to their guidelines on creating characters moving forward into the industry, right? Check what they said. They say, are you reinforcing any negative gender stereotypes? What do they consider gender stereotype? How a female actually looks, or their version of a female to where it's over-sexualized in their mind just because femininity just equals sexualization to them. Like, are you creating playable female characters that are equal in skill and ability to their male peers? Which means that they're trying to compete with men anyway. So this is going to marry the shit that I'm talking about right here to where it's like they're trying to combine male and female when it comes to looks, their actions, like how they're behaving in video games anyway. Because if you notice, most female characters in video games that are made in the West, every single one of them are independent. Every single one of them basically are butch. They are in charge. They're talking shit. Or when it comes to a game that is set in a setting to where it's historical, quote unquote, they're putting women in charge of that. You notice that? There's a lot of things to where how they're combating this type of situation when it comes to them thinking that it's male dominated. How they're combating this is just basically turning women into men. They don't know how to make a strong female character feminine and still make her strong. Their idea of making a woman strong in a game is literally to turn them into a man. Women should be offended. It's not even just men. It's women that should be offended about this. Why am I sticking up for y'all rights? There's plenty of women who knows this shit, like normal women who actually see this stuff and be like, yo, why is she looking like this? Why is she looking like this? And why is she looking like fucking, no, not that. Especially not that. Why is she looking like this? All women know this though. Like most women with common sense actually know this, but watch this though. This is actually going to show you exactly what we're talking about, and he highlighted this shit on purpose. Like, are your female characters equipped with clothing and armor that fits their task? Do they have exaggerated body proportions? What do they consider exaggerated body proportion? There are women that are big-breasted. There are women that are small-breasted, in the middle, or just flat in general. What do you consider over sexualized? What do you consider like exaggerated body proportions? Oh, you mean the shit that normal women have? But according to you, since you're, like I said before, I'm telling y'all exactly what they're doing. They're trying to turn women into men on purpose. It's not by accident. This is from Microsoft's new Gaming for Everyone product inclusion framework, which means that it's not hinted at. Like, it's not like, oh, you have a choice to follow this. No, it's like we're egging you on. We want you to follow this. We're saying that you have a choice, but you really don't. We want you to do this, or otherwise you're not going to get them ESG scores to rate your company good, because you're not standing on our good graces. If you don't do this shit, less money will come to you to fund your projects. So it's actually on purpose. I'm not just making this shit up. So when I be petty and basically say this shit, because like I know why people actually take me, you know, a certain way, because yeah, I'm a dick. I don't give a fuck. But the reason why they're taking this petty is because, you know, like I make jokes. I crack jokes, of course, about the characters looking like Lord Farquaad. And the reason why he looks like this is because he's supposed to be a Chad, but they made him short on purpose as a joke. So for you, there should be no way you should look like a joke character. He's supposed to be a super Chad. That's why his chin is the way that it looks. But they made him short as a joke because it's like, yeah, you look like a Chad in the face, but you're short and you act like you're short. So that's the whole point of his character. There should be no fucking way that they look like him and he looks like this as a joke. They're trying, like I said before, on purpose to make these females less feminine on purpose, and that should really piss off women. It makes me less pissed off because I'm a man. I deal with women in real life. I really don't give a fuck. But the thing is though, when it comes to the art field, I know for a fact that these artists are handicapped by what they have to do. They have to make these females less appealing, unless you go to the Asian market, which shows you how this shit works. If you have your women actually look like women, your shit is gonna sell. Case in point, Stella Blake, one of the biggest PlayStation exclusives to ever exist, and nobody even realized this. Because look, if Stella Blade came out, I would say 10 years ago, it wouldn't have smashed the records that it did. But because the industry is going to where it is going right now, and people are literally saying, okay, listen, we can see exactly what y'all doing now. So because you don't give a fuck, and because you just keep on giving us shit we don't want, we're gonna go hard for the one that's giving us stuff that we do want, even though 10 years ago this shit wouldn't have been. Stella Blade would not have broke as many records if this game came out 10 years ago, and everybody knows it. It is a very good game, but back in the day, everybody was making good games. Stella Blade came out in a market to where it was most needed at the time. When it comes to the climate, when it comes to everybody getting sick of this shit that's going on, that's the reason why this shit is so successful. That's the reason why Resident Evil was so successful, because number one, not only was Leon a good character, but Ashley was an amazing character. This was a case in point to where it comes to a remake from a game that came out back then, and a remake version that comes out today being 10 times better than the old version, because they didn't change anything. Well, yeah, they did, but they all changed it for the better. Every single choice that they made in Resident Evil was all made to enhance what was already before. I couldn't stand Ashley in the last one. I couldn't stand her. I love her in this one because they upgraded everything to make everybody likable. And the fact, too, she looks like a woman and she acts like a woman again. I made a video about this, too, explaining why Ashley's character is so much better than the one back in the day. Ashley's character is perfect. Leon's character is perfect. And, case in point, too, I think this is a part of the same string of Capcom. Capcom made Resident Evil 4, and Capcom made Monster Hunter, which everybody is talking about this character right here, Monster Hunter Wilds, right? Notice Monster Hunter Wilds is going to sell strictly because of this character. Strictly because of this. And this is what you get. You created the monster. You created the people who's going to go outside of their way to make something like this, which Monster Hunter World anyway would have been successful on its own, but it's really going to smash records strictly because they see that it's not infected by the woke virus. It does. Their characters don't look like this. Their characters do not look like this. And their characters don't look like this. Strictly because this game goes outside of its way and they can just tell that it's not infected. It's automatically gonna make money. It's gonna smash records. Y'all created this monster. And guess what? I'm gonna keep on talking about it too. So yeah, you people getting pissed off at the fact that, now listen, I'm just bringing up the fact that she looks like a fucking Down syndrome, thick-necked Lord Farquaad sister wannabe. And y'all get pissed off that I say that shit. I'm not saying this shit for no reason. And you casual people that get involved in this conversation who just actually just, like in fair game to y'all people just want to play games that y'all guys just want to just, you know, live your life and do whatever the fuck, right? The people who's a part of this industry and the people who talks about this shit on YouTube and on these platforms and dropping game gems, whatever you want to call it, right? We know this shit better than y'all. We have to. Of course we do. We talk about this all the time. Y'all people who are casuals who just go straight to, oh, you need therapy. Oh, this shit is mean. Oh, you shouldn't be talking like that. Hey, it's just a game. Y'all need to do y'all fucking research. Matter of fact, I'm going to put 4 videos on my screen right now, which ones y'all can look at if y'all have a problem with what I'm saying right now. Go do y'all research. Y'all will know exactly why I'm saying the shit that I'm saying. I don't say shit for no fucking reason. Do y'all research and quit putting this dumbass shit in my comment section, because if y'all do, guess what? The next video, I'm going to plaster that shit all over the place so people will know how stupid you are because you chose not to do informational research. We're not talking about this ugly bitch for no reason. Trust me. It's a reason. Especially for me since I'm an artist. Do your research.
That is an ugly bitch. That's an ugly bitch right there. That is an ugly bitch.